Ditch the flat pick and use a thumb and finger pick instead. Today I'm going to show you how you can transition from flat picking to finger picking using a couple simple techniques. When I started playing guitar, I was a flat picker for probably about 7 or 8 years, so I got pretty comfortable with that technique and approach. But over time, I found that everything I was doing with a flat pick pretty much I could do with a thumb pick and a finger pick, and I could do a whole lot more with a thumb pick and a finger pick. So let's get into it. So if we take a look at a basic flat picking strumming pattern like this. So I'm just going down, down, up, down, down, up. And basically that's all you can do with a flat pick. You can go down or you can go up. You can go through multiple strings or single strings, but that's the main gist of it. So if I take a thumb pick and a finger pick, I'm going to use a plastic thumb pick and a metal finger pick here. What I'm going to do is instead of going down with the flat pick, I'm going to go use my thumb. So the thumb is going to be the down. Using an E chord here. And then for the upstroke, I'm going to use the finger. So we're going thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb. So if we wanted to do that strumming pattern I was just doing, we would go thumb, thumb, finger, thumb, thumb, finger, thumb, thumb, finger, thumb, thumb, finger, thumb. Okay, let's try a slightly different pattern. So here's another one. That's down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now if I do that with the thumb pick and the finger pick, using the thumb for the down strokes and the finger for the up strokes. Now I'm probably making this seem easier than it really is because I've been doing this for a while. So keep in mind, it might seem a little more difficult at first if you're transitioning from a flat pick to this technique, but stick with it. And here's a few tips that'll help you pull this off. So for one thing, with the thumb pick and the finger pick, you want to make sure they're on your finger and thumb securely. I've got a Dunlop finger pick and a Dunlop thumb pick here, and they're both on my fingers, you know, nice and snug. So, I mean, if I lightly bump it, it's not going to fly off my finger or thumb. That's important. Another thing is you just want to make sure you're nice and relaxed. These picks are a little bit thicker than a flat pick, so you don't need as much power in a way. So make sure to keep things nice and loose. You also want to make sure to just use that tip of the pick to go through the string. So in other words, if you get too deep into the string, then what can happen is your pick can get caught on the string and it can go like flying across the room or inside the sound hole, or it gets on the string. Don't worry, that'll happen sooner or later if you're finger picking with picks. But this is a good way to hopefully avoid that. Now, some of the really cool advantages of being able to do this and getting used to, you know, using just a thumb pick and a finger pick is I can switch into finger picking stuff. So let's say if I was doing something like now I can finger pick. You know, you can do that. I can do alternating stuff by using the thumb and finger on one string if I want to. I want to do stuff like that. So I can pretty much replace pretty much anything I would do with a flat pick. You know, I can do with this thumb and one finger pick. Another cool thing about learning this approach is this is similar to a lot of like the Mississippi blues players. A lot of times use the thumb and one finger. In fact, a lot of the early electric blues players like Muddy Waters and Jimmy Rogers, those guys played even electric guitar with a thumb and one finger. So there's a lot you can do with it. So I'm going to make a challenge. If you're a flat picker and you kind of, when you're in a jam situation, you grab that flat pick, you know, see if you can use a thumb and a finger pick instead to do the stuff that you would do, the strumming type of stuff. See if you can adapt, you know, your repertoire to use the thumb pick and a finger pick. It'll open a lot of doors, and then you're ready to get into finger picking when you want to add in those extra things. All right, now I've got some other videos on finger picking as well that you're probably going to want to check out. So I'll put some links for that in the description. I'll see you real soon.